Once a monk used to live in a monastery with other monks. One day he decided to meditate alone away from his monastery. There was a lake nearby where not many people would visit. He decided to go to that lake to meditate. When he reached the lake, there was no one else. He took a boat out to the middle of the lake. When reached in middle, moors it there. There he sat with his eyes closed and began his meditation. After a few hours of undisturbed silence, he suddenly felt a bump of another boat colliding with his boat. Monk got disturbed, but still he kept his eyes closed. Again, he felt bump. With his eyes closed, he sensed his anger rising, but still, he kept his eyes closed and stayed silent. After a while, again he felt bump, and by this time, he was ready to scream at the boatmen who dared to disturb his meditation. When he couldn't control anymore, he opened his eyes and looked toward another boat, to scream, but to his surprise. When he opened his eyes, he saw that it was an empty boat that had probably got untethered and floated to the middle of lake. As soon as the monk saw this, at that moment, he achieved self-realization and understood that anger was within him, and it merely needed the bump of an external object to provoke it out of him. From then on, whenever the monk would come across someone who irritates him or try to provoke him to anger, he would remind himself, "Other person is merely an empty boat. The anger is within me."
Life is like a journey on a winding river. Your mind is like a calm lake, and your emotions are the ripples on its surface. When something or someone stirs your emotions, it's like a bump in the water. But remember, you have the power to choose whether to let those ripples turn into waves or to keep the lake calm. This lesson conveys the idea that life is full of ups and downs, just like a river with calm and turbulent waters. But remind us that we have the power to navigate our own life journey. We may not always control the external circumstances, but we do have the ability to make choices, adapt, and steer our course to the best of our abilities.